Hello everyone, Vulcan here to bring you my review of episode 78 of Dragon Ball Super. I apologize that this review comes so late compared to the usual, but with the whole thing about moving to a new place happening, I've been rather tied up between one thing and the other. But I didn't want to make another mixed review, so I'm making this video because the show must go on. So with this episode, we finally reached the opening act of the Universe Survival Tournament, officially known as the Tournament of Power. To be honest, I prefer the Universe Survival as the name of the tournament, so that's what I'm gonna keep calling it. In my opinion, the highlight of this episode comes near the end once we actually reach the first match of the tournament. But that said, this is just an exhibition match and not an official one. As far as the Universe 9 fighters go, they're your generic furries who act like they're the hottest shit ever, so I don't really care about them very much, but more on that later. The episode starts off with the Grand Priest proceeding with his announcement of the survival tournament, which will take place in the world of Void. Where this world is located is really anyone's guess, though it's likely somewhere outside of the 12 universes, strange as that might seem. Much like the previous tournament, the winning fighter will receive the Super Dragon Balls, which have already been collected. And of course, Champa had contributed the 3 Dragon Balls he'd already found before, something Beerus definitely didn't like. Once the Supreme Kai asks what the winning universe receives, however, the Grand Priest declares that they get nothing. Beerus therefore thinks this means something intangible like honor, but the priest clarifies that the universe literally receives nothing. The priest eventually caves, admitting that while it wasn't something he wanted to make known right away, he made an exception for Goku, as it's thanks to him after all that the tournament even exists. As we all know, the losing universes will be erased by Zeno, meaning the winning universe simply receives the right to live on. To be honest, I found the question of what the winning universe receives to be a strange one, considering the winning fighter would win the Super Dragon Balls on behalf of his universe. After all, that's what happened in the last tournament. With that being the case, I also found the method by which the writers wanted to reveal the fate of the losing universes to be kind of forced as a result. I say this because if the winning universe, and therefore its fighter, were to simply obtain the right to continue to exist and nothing else, throwing in the Super Dragon Ball seems like a weird decision from a writing perspective. But of course, this is Dragon Ball, and it would also be weird if the Dragon Balls weren't involved in some way. That being said, the erasure of the losing universes then becomes redundant because the fact that the universe don't get a free wish means they already lost something. And since Goku's victory is all but predictable, there's almost no doubt that he'll wish for the destroyed universes to be restored. Whether or not the Super Dragon can grant such a wish is another matter, which I'll get to later in the video. Of course, the fact that the existence of each universe was on the line in this tournament was met with shock by everyone, including Goku. Goku clearly underestimated Zeno, thinking that the fact that they were friends would mean that he wouldn't go to such extremes just for the fun of it. Like I said in my last video, these supreme beings aren't bound by the moral codes of mortals, something Goku obviously didn't consider, so there's no reason for Zeno to even be capable of understanding such morals. Not to mention that after seeing both Zenos treating the existence of entire planets with potential life in them like a game, it comes as no surprise that they destroy entire universes just for fun. And no one can tell him that it's right or wrong either, not even Goku. If Goku tried that, he'd get erased on the spot, probably not by Zeno but one of his servants or the Grand Priest, most likely. The Grand Priest then announces that the future Zeno wants to see what a martial arts bout looks like and why present Zeno likes it so much. He therefore requests Goku to produce 2 more fighters to take part in an exhibition match against representatives from Universe 9. On that note, I just want to mention again how weird it is that everyone in Zeno's palace thinks nothing of the fact that a taboo was clearly broken so that a version of Zeno from the future could exist. I know I mentioned this in my last video, but how Goku wasn't destroyed on the spot when he brought the future Zeno to the present is incredible. So I don't know, maybe Goku won't get destroyed on the spot for trying to teach morals to Zeno, not like he can be trusted for that job. In any case, Beerus is very mad at Goku for basically being responsible for this turn of events, telling him to take responsibility and take part in the tournament. Goku obviously doesn't need to be told since he wanted to fight in the first place and brings himself forward for the exhibition match. The first person he turns to as the second fighter is Vegeta, who still refuses to have anything to do with it since he wants to stay close to Bulma. He suggests to turn to his son instead. Goku sees Goten sparring with Trunks, thinking that it might be too much for him until he remembers that he has another son. Like, seriously, Goku, you shouldn't be this dense. Gohan initially has reservations about participating, which kinda makes sense since he'd be more motivated to fight if there's some kind of imminent danger. Goku explains that such a danger exists, as the universe could be erased if they lose. Like the others who know of the nature of the tournament, Gohan is disappointed in Goku and decides that it should be kept secret from everyone so that no one panics. And when he sees his wife and daughter, Gohan decides to participate as he definitely has something he cannot lose. If there's anything this breed brief time as a stuntman taught him, it's that he has to actually fight in order to protect what's important to him, so it's good to see that that development remained consistent. Right then, Satan shows up with Mr. Boo close behind. Goku instantly realizes that he has to be the third member of the team and asks him to participate. No, not Satan, he asks Mr. Boo. Let's be clear on that. We all know how powerful Satan is. If he participated, the tournament would be over quickly, because we all know Satan could solo all the universes at once if he desired it. Nah, I'm just kidding. We all know he's weak as fuck. Beerus initially isn't very impressed with the lineup, which isn't surprising as we all know how things went down when both Gohan and Boo tried to fight him. They quickly travel to Zeno's palace where they meet those from Universe 9. And I couldn't help but notice just how much the Supreme Kai of this universe is basically an old version of Zamasu. Makes me wonder just what kind of Supreme Kai he's supposed to be. I mean, he's definitely got that sinister edge to him. I mean, even his own God of Destruction looks kinder than him. Like I said earlier, the fighters of Universe 9 look like your generic, extremely arrogant wolf fairies that I really couldn't care too much about, so having said that, I'm more excited about this exhibition match ending quickly so that we can get on with the actual tournament. Even the fact that Basil is someone who fights using only kicks isn't something that makes him that much more interesting to me. Thankfully, when we do get to the matches, Boo plays his usual game where he gets beat up and kicked around easily but not really feeling it, which to me, that's the most exciting part about this fight. And we clearly see near the end of the episode that he's smirking, and the preview also seems to show that despite Basil's bravado and the fact that he powered up, Boo's having a fun time and no trouble whatsoever. So all in all, this was a fairly decent episode and it raises two questions. The first being, what will the losing universe's fates actually be? Of course, Zeno's intention to destroy them is stated quite clearly, but I very much doubt that Goku will let that slide. It wouldn't surprise me if at some stage Goku will try to appeal to Zeno's friendship to convince him not to destroy them. I can see him making the argument that while these fighters weren't strong enough to win this tournament, other tournaments in the future may show something different as the warriors who participate can become stronger and give him even more exciting matches later on. That, or should Goku or anyone else from Universe 7 win, they might use their wish to restore the other universes. This brings me to the second question regarding whether or not the Super Dragon Balls have enough power to undo what Zeno has done to begin with. After all, Zeno is a being who stands higher than anyone in the universal pecking order barring Popo, so there's no telling whether or not the Super Dragon has enough power to outdo what Zeno has done. That is of course assuming the Super Dragon can restore entire universes to begin with. So that's the end of my review. As usual, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Like this video if you did, subscribe to my channel for more, and hopefully I will see you again soon.